Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another video on my channel. We're gonna be doing one thing, red. You know what? We're gonna do Benfica. Cool. Benfica player predictions for FIFA 21. I done an Arsenal one that was uploaded yesterday. If everything goes to plan, this should have been the Arsenal one should have been uploaded on the 9th of September. This one should be uploaded in the 10th before the official ratings come out, because I don't think there's any players that play for Benfica that's going to be in the top 100. Let's just start off nice and simple. Let's try and get this quicker because the Arsenal one took a lot of time. Let's try and get this done quicker. Vlaco Dimja Odysseus, he started FIFA 20 with an 80 rating, and I think he's going to get a +1 upgrade. He had a very good season, and I think he's done enough to warrant a +1 upgrade. Villar, he was a 68. He hasn't played at all in the A team, and if he has played 1 or 2 games, he has looked okay, but nothing to warrant even being a 68 in my opinion. I think he should get downgraded to a 67. Elton Leite was a new signing from Boavista. If I'm not mistaken, he was a 71. If not, the right card will be coming here. He was a 71 goalkeeper, and I'm going to be giving him a 74 just for the fact that in January he did win the the goalkeeper of the month. He has moved to a bigger club than Boavista, and I think he's a very good goalkeeper actually. I've seen him quite a few times and he's quite good. Mustafa, he started the season at a 72, and I'm going to give him a +2 upgrade to a 74. Same with Nuno Tavares, both for the same reason that they have come in, they have shown they have quality, they have shown that they're better than 72, but I don't think they're good enough to be gold. I'm gonna go for Ferro. He started the season at 78. I'm gonna be downgrading him to a 77. He hasn't had the best of seasons, and quite frankly, 77 is still probably quite generous. But you know, I felt like being nice today. I felt like being nice, and Ferro gets away with it, and he gets a 77. Ruben Dias, I think, is gonna get the biggest upgrade so far. From an 80 rating, I'm going to give him an 83. I still think that's quite harsh on him. That's how good I think he is. Next up we have Jardel, and I think Jardel's going to have our biggest downgrade so far, and I'm going to be giving him a 78 rating from his 81. I think that he's had a very poor season, and he hasn't played a lot, you know. When he's come in, I kind of wish that Ferro was in the team, so that says a lot. Vandra Almeida, I think he hasn't had a good season, and I do also think he deserves a downgrade. Not as big of a downgrade, but I'm going to be downgrading him from an 81 to an 80. Next up we have a new signing, Vertonghen. He started FIFA 20 with an 87 rating. Although I haven't seen enough to say that he's gotten worse, I think it's just the fact that he's moved from the Premier League to the Portuguese League. EA just naturally would probably just give him a downgrade, so I think EA is going to give him an 85 rating, which is still very, very nice. Last defender, we're going to have Grimaldo. An 83 is what he started with. I think he's had a very inconsistent season. I think he's been poor at certain times. I think he's been good at other times. He's very, very frustrating because I love him, but I hate him. I think he hasn't done enough to warrant an 83. I think he deserves a downgrade to an 82. -1 downgrade for Grimaldo. Now we go into our midfield. We're going to have a few upgrades and a few downgrades. We're going to start off with Adel Taarabt, who started off at a 75 rating, and I'll be upgrading him by 4 to a 79. I think Taarabt, he's one of the best midfielders in the league in my opinion. Now there's one stat in particular that he deserves an incredible upgrade to, and that is his defending, because he's been playing as a CDM, and I don't think you can be a CDM with 37 defending. Yeah, I think he deserves at least 60 defending, deserves to get that defending upgraded by at least 25-30. Quite frankly, he has improved his offensive work rate so much, and his defending has gotten much better since he's been put back into the team by Bruno Lage last season. So yeah, that's my logic behind it. Next up, we're going to have Florentin Luis. He started the season at a 76. He hasn't been given the chance to prove he's any better than a 76, and when he has played, except for his more recent performances when Bruno Lage was still in the team, it's not something that I would write home about, and I do think he is going to get downgraded to a 75 just because of his lack of games and his lack of performances. Next up we have Franco Servi. He started the season at a 76, and I think he's going to start this one as well at a 76. He hasn't done a lot to deserve a downgrade, nor deserve an upgrade in my opinion. Next up we're going to have Chiquinho. And Chiquinho, you're not very good, are you? You started at a 76, a 77 I mean, and I'm going to downgrade him to a 76. quite kind, I think I'm being to Shiking. I would not be mad if he gets a 74, 75, quite frankly. Next up, we're going to have quite a downgrade, unfortunately. It's a player I really like, it's Andrea Samaris, and I quite like Andrea Samaris, but I do think he's had a poor season. I'm going to give him a 76, was it? No, a 77. A -2 downgrade from his 79 rating. Gabriel, he had a run of good form, a run of bad form. It was really on and off of Gabriel. Maybe I'm being kind to him, but I think I'm going to keep him at an 80 rating. He hasn't done enough to deserve an upgrade. Maybe he's done enough to deserve a downgrade, but I'm going to keep him at an 80. Next up, we have Julian Weigl. He did spend 6 months already at the club. He did arrive at an 80 rating. Started off really slowly, but after the lockdown, it was literally Weigl plus 10 with Benfica. Like, he was literally the only player that was playing well. I think he deserves an upgrade. I think Weigl is a very important player in Benfica setup. I'm going to give him an 81 rating from his 80. A +1 upgrade for Weigl, I think, is a fair score. Next up, we're going to go for a little downgrade, unfortunately. Rafa. He started off at an 82, and I don't think since December, January sort of time, I don't think his head's been in it. I think he should get downgraded to an 80, a -2 downgrade for Rafa. Some could say he's a one-season wonder. Right now, not too against that, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna go to a player we're gonna be upgrading as the last midfielder. I think you can guess who it is. It's Pizzi. He started the season at an 84. I'm not gonna downgrade or keep the player the same if he scored 30 goals and got however the fuck he assists he just got. Like, he contributed to so many fucking goals this season. You can't doubt those numbers. I'm going to be upgrading Pizzi to an 85. I think a +1 upgrade. I think he'll be our joint highest rated player. We're going to start off with Haris Seferovic. Although I really like Seferovic, and I think he's like one of the worst players that fans just have a connection with, because he just always tries his best. I'm going to be downgrading Seferovic with a kind of against my will, because if it was down to me, I'd probably just keep him the same, but you know, I've got to be fair and downgrade Seferovic from a 79 to a 77. I think that's a fair downgrade. It's sad because I love Seferovic, but you've scored like 5 goals in the league, mate. You do deserve that downgrade. Next up, we're going to go for Diego Souza. Same thing as Seferovic in terms of the rating is going to get downgraded to. I think Diego Souza is a horrible football player. I can't wait for his loan spell to be finished. Diego Souza downgraded from a 79 to a 77 minimum. If he gets downgraded even more, deserved probably. But yeah, next up we're going to have Vinicius. I don't really like Vinicius. He did finish with like 19 goals last season, 18 or whatever it was. I just don't like him. He's just like, you notice when he's playing, sometimes not in the good way. He started the season at 72, and I am going to give him a +10 upgrade. I'm going to give him an 82 purely based on the fact he was the 2nd top scorer. I think an 82 rating probably isn't a fair score, but it's probably somewhere where EA will probably give him like maybe 80 or 81 maybe, but I do think it's going to get a massive upgrade. Now next up is just the signings that we've made. Jota Fleep, he started at 72, didn't he? And I'm going to keep him at 72. He just hasn't done enough to warrant anything. Next up, we're going to go for a new signing, Waldschmidt. Luca Waldschmidt, I think that's how you pronounce his name. If it's not, I'm sorry, please correct me, I'm not German. He started the season at a 76. I'm going to give him an upgrade to a 78. He did have a decent season for Freiburg. His move to a top European club, I think, will warrant an upgrade for +2. Going to give him a 78. I think that's very fair. I'm going to go for Nunes. He started off at a 71 if I'm not mistaken, and I'm going to give him a +4 upgrade again because he's moved from the 2nd division of Spain to the 1st division of Portugal, to a Champions League club if we qualify, and I think that's going to play a factor in his rating. I'm going to give him a 75. He is our record signing, so please be good, and please let me give you an 80 minimum next season. I completely missed out on one of our new signings. I'm going to go to him now. Gilberto, I'm going to give him a 75 upgrade because it's a move to a big Portuguese team, and I think that's going to be my logic behind it. Pedrinho, 78 is what I'm going to give him. I think so FIFA gave him a 77, so I'm going to give him a slight upgrade to this season. I think that's fair. So we're going to go to Everton for real now. FIFA gave him an 82 rating. I have watched him play for Benfica now, and fuck, you know, I'm very, very impressed. And I have seen him play for Brazil a couple of times. He scored the win in the Copa America, so he is a very good player. I'm going to give him an 83 rating. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. Last but not least though, guys, Diogo Gonçalves. He was a Benfica player. He did start the season last season with Famalicão. He had a very good season with Famalicão. He started off last season with a 71. I think he's going to start this season with a 75. I think he's impressed me very highly. And if he doesn't get a 75, he's going to get a 74. But yeah, we've managed to finish. I think this is a bigger squad than Arsenal's, and I have done it in a very, very much quicker. I've spoke less about it and kind of tried to roll on it because that video did last a bit long, and I don't want to spend my whole life editing this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you disagree with my ratings, tell me down below what you'd go for, and yeah, like, subscribe, come back for more, because I'm going to be doing a few stuff with FIFA 21. Not a lot, like around what I usually do. I'm probably going to do my Benfica agreement at the start, and yeah, hope you have enjoyed this video, guys. I'll see you guys for the next one, and peace.